Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So this is it. This is the George Santos story we knew we would eventually hear. We all knew there was something shady going on with that whole ATM theft story. Now our suspicions have been confirmed, or at least I think they have. For those who didn't see the original video, or if you need a refresher, here's a quick synopsis. A man named Gustavo Trelha was arrested in Seattle, Washington, for using a device to make fake ATM cards. And he then used those cards to withdraw money from people's bank accounts. I think this was in 2017 and end of 2016, beginning of 2017, something like that. The judge wanted to keep him in jail pending his trial because he lived in Florida, didn't live in the state of Washington, and he was Brazilian. Audio from his bond hearing was recently leaked, and George Santos was heard in that audio lying to the judge. He claimed that he and Trelha's parents were old friends. They go back a long time. Santos claims that, they're old childhood friends. He was going to help Trelha. He was going to set him up in an Airbnb or some long-term stay hotel. He was trying to get the judge to release him. In reality, Santos and Trelha had only recently met. They were total strangers. They met through a Facebook group. Trelha then moved into Santos' apartment, like almost immediately, and he was renting a room from him. Santos, at this point, had moved to New York. He took a job. He had moved to New York. So presumably, Trelha was maybe subleasing Santos' room, in Florida. Then to top it off, Santos told an old friend he was an informant in the case against Trelha, that he gave Trelha up to the authorities. This was then confirmed by the local police. So it all seemed very sketchy. It didn't make sense. Why would Santos fly from New York to Seattle, Washington, not once, but as it turns out, twice, to lie for a man that he barely knew? And why would he do that after he turned this man in? It just was so unbelievably bizarre. It just made no sense unless Santos was in on it. Well, now Trelha claims that he was. In fact, Trelha is saying that Santos was the mastermind behind this entire credit card skimming scheme. In a sworn declaration to the U.S. federal authorities and the New York authorities, Trelha wrote, quote, "I am coming forward today to declare that the person in charge of the crime of credit card fraud when I was arrested was George Santos / Anthony DeVolder. Santos taught me how to skim card information and how to clone cards. He gave me all the materials and taught me how to put skimming devices and cameras on ATM machines." Trelha's declaration goes on to say that Santos had a warehouse where he kept all of this equipment for the scam. He wrote, quote, "He had a lot of material, parts, printers, blank ATM and credit cards to be painted and engraved with stolen account and personal information. Santos gave me at his warehouse some of the parts to illegally skim credit card information. Right after he gave me the card skimming and cloning machines, he taught me how to use them." Then the document goes on to give pretty specific details about this scheme. It states, quote, "We used a computer to be able to download the information on the pieces. We also used an external hard drive to save the filming because the skimmer took the information from the card and the camera took the password." Trelha claims that he and Santos had a deal to evenly split the money that they stole, or that he stole. And he alleges that when Santos went to visit him in jail, he warned Trelha not to implicate him. And then he threatened to have Trelha's friends deported, his friends in Florida. So Santos allegedly told him that he could, quote, "make things worse for Trelha." And in addition, Trelha says that Santos stole his bail money. Evidently, Trelha had like $20,000 in a safe in the Florida apartment. And a third roommate has confirmed that Santos flew from New York. He flew down to Florida and he picked up that money before he then traveled to Seattle to see Trelha. And Santos claimed that he was going to hire El Chapo's attorney to get Trelha out of jail. And then he just ghosted them all, just like he did with the veteran and his dying dog. He ghosted Trelha and the other roommates. And Trelha says he has witnesses to all of this. And he said that he's willing to speak with, quote, any American government investigator. So he sent this document to the FBI, to the Secret Service New York office, and the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of New York. And he says that he decided to come forward because he saw Santos on TV, and he just now discovered that he's a U.S. congressman. So we knew it. We knew this story sounded so shady, and we knew that Santos was going to be revealed as a criminal. I mean, this is still an allegation, but that first story made no sense, right? I mean, the other stuff like stealing the puppies from the Amish puppy mill breeders, that's a petty crime. But between this, I mean, stealing money from people using skimming. I mean, this guy got some serious jail time for this. And Santos walked. And if they can figure out where his campaign cash actually came from, this guy is going to go to prison for a long time. He will finally be where he belongs. It is astonishing how these criminals and people who know that they have massive skeletons in their closet, that they take these high-profile positions. They put themselves out there to be picked apart. I mean, the hubris that these people have is beyond comprehension. And it's probably going to be his undoing that he's an attention whore. So anyway, guys, I'll let you know when I hear more, but woo, this is like the big one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like this video, share it with others. Please become a subscriber if you're not already. Trying to hit that 11,000 mark. Love you all. If you can donate, it's greatly appreciated. It helps to keep the show going. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.